Before I start the video, I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreons who have been supporting my channel. If you would like to check out my Patreon and receive early access to some very exciting videos coming soon, then please click the link in the description below.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nerd Den here once again, and in today's video I am going to be doing a tier list for all the episodes of Doctor Who Season 1. Yes, the Doctor Who season which has just finished. I'm going to be ranking all the episodes from my favourite to my least favourite and all of that. And yeah, this is just because I want to get my thoughts on each episode and kind of be like, okay, I really like this one because this worked, but I didn't really like this one at all because this didn't work for me. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the video because honestly, yeah, I feel like I'm probably going to be a little bit controversial with this. So yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so, this tier list has got the Church on Ruby Road, which I know technically isn't part of Season 1, but at the same time, it kind of sets everything up. So the Church on Ruby Road, I'm going to go with B, because it's meant to be a hopping on point for this new era, and it's meant to be a hopping on point for the entirety of Doctor Who, and it's meant to be the soft launch, which it works to some degree, but it's not as strong as Rose, which was obviously the previous jumping on point for Series 1. And also as well, the goblins and all that were just kind of mid, in my opinion. But I did like the introduction to Ruby, and I did really like Ncuti's performance in this episode. But unfortunately, it didn't really gel with me in terms of like a story, and I'm thinking of this as well as what it's meant to be, a jumping on point, which it didn't really sell to me as that. So yeah, whilst I did really enjoy the episode, it doesn't really do that for me. And I haven't really had the urge to rewatch it. However, Space Babies, which is the second one, I am going to put that here. Yes, Space Babies I'm going to rank above the Church on Ruby Road, which may be a bit controversial to some people. But yeah, Space Babies, really good episode in my opinion. Not perfect, but I did like the opening where we get a lot of stuff about the Doctor's past, his family, talking about Gallifrey. Also, the fact that the Doctor, takes Ruby on a little brief trip to the dinosaurs, and then things just get hectic from there. It's just a really good episode, and it just screams Doctor Who to me. And I did like the scene where the Doctor does end up saving the Bogeyman without his Sonic, and he just goes in and uses his wit and his smarts, and that just screams Doctor Who for me. Now, the Devil's Cord. Oh, see, this one, I'm going to be a little bit controversial again. I'm going to put this as S tier, because you know why? I really enjoyed this episode. I loved the twist at the end. Yes, I loved the song. I know a fair few people didn't like that, but I really enjoyed it. I love the musical aspect of the episode. It was something different. It was something new, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I thought it was really good in that aspect. So yeah, I really enjoyed Jinx Monsoon as well as the villain. I thought the Maestro was a really good villain that I hope we do get to see again as part of the Pantheon of Gods. I feel like that would be amazing. And as well, what else did I enjoy? There's so many things about this episode I really enjoyed, like the setting and stuff like that. It was just really cool. Now, Boom. Okay, Boom. The Stephen Moffat episode. Now, I'm going to put this as well in the S tier because Boom was a really good, nice breath of fresh air, taking a step back from Russell's writing. And yes, I know it's Moffat. We've had a lot of Moffat over the years, but it's nice to see him back and him writing for Ncuti's Doctor. It's such a character-driven story, so emotive in so many ways. And yeah, it really worked, in my opinion. I did really like the setting, and I know a lot of the plot is the Doctor standing on a landmine, but it works. And Varada Sefu as well was a really good character as well. And the whole ambulance thing, yeah, it was a really good story in my opinion. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. However, 73 yards. Now, this one I'm going to put slightly lower. I'm going to put it in A because I know there's a lot of love for this episode, but there's a lot of mysteries, especially after the finale where I thought we were going to get some answers for it. I don't know, it just kind of feels a little bit lackluster in my opinion. So I'm going to rank it slightly lower just because, yeah, I do like to get all of these mysteries resolved. And I just feel like not knowing what this woman was saying that was causing everyone to isolate Ruby was just a little bit disappointing. And especially like the villain of the episode, which was meant to be Roger Williams' character, it just didn't really it just didn't really work in my opinion. But I don't know what could happen if this is picked up in the future. Then I might retrospectively put the episode higher, but I don't know. In my opinion, it didn't quite land as the Devil's Court as Boom and Boom as well. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out there. But yeah, like the whole mystery thing, which I and Russell did hype this up to be his best written episode. Yeah, it didn't really work for me. And Dot and Bubble, I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna put that in C. Because whilst I did really like the ending, and it was such a brilliant performance from Ncuti, and I did rewatch this episode a couple times as well, especially with the context of the twist as well. Yeah, I don't know, it didn't really gel well with me at all, and I just felt like, yeah, I don't know, like having two, I guess having two Doctor Light episodes back to back might have been my reason for not enjoying it as much, but I don't know. Yeah, for me, ironically, it was a slugfest, but I do understand the message behind this episode, and that's why the ending will all stick out for me. But that's not enough to, I guess, redeem the other 40 minutes of the episode for me, anyway. Now, Rogue, again, I am going to put this in C tier as well. Whilst I did really like Jonathan Groff and Ncuti together, that's not enough to really save the rest of the episode for me, because, yes, it's very character-driven, but the villains are very forgettable, and to be honest, they don't really have any presence in the story at all, to be fair. And yeah, just the way it was all wrapped up as well just kind of felt really rushed to me. And yeah, I didn't really enjoy that as much compared to the other episodes. So yeah, that's my reasoning behind that. Again, a very character-driven episode, but yeah, didn't really land the mark with me. Now, The Legend of Ruby Sunday. Okay, here we go. Right, so this one I'm going to put in A, because yeah, it's a lot of setup in this episode. There's a lot of setup. There's a lot of things going on. And yeah, there's a lot of mystery, like, who's Ruby's mom? Okay, we know that now, which I'll be talking about with the Empire of Death. But yeah, who's Ruby's mom? Who's this? Who's that? The reveal of Sutekh as well, I still get goosebumps whilst watching that. There's a lot of, things being set up as well with Susan Triad. There's references to Susan Foreman. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. Boom. But the reason why it's not an S is because I know where all this stuff ends up. Because obviously it's a two-parter. And yeah, the Empire of Death. Yeah, no. Now, I know in my initial reaction when watching this, I was like, yeah, boom, fantastic, yes, amazing. Now, I did really enjoy Sutekh. I did really enjoy the presence of Sutekh. Gabriel Wolf did a smashing performance. There's a lot of emotive pieces, which that is something that I do like about this era. There's a lot of character performances, which I really enjoyed. But there are quite a few plot holes in this episode, which after rewatching it quite a few times, I've picked up on, and it has drastically changed my opinion on this episode from when I initially watched it at the cinema. So obviously, Sutekh being the god of death, by latching onto the TARDIS and traveling through the vortex over so many years, and then he's destroyed whilst in the vortex, doesn't really make sense to me. Setting up Ruby's mom to be someone really important, and then having a really, really lightweight reason to, like, oh yeah, we all thought she was important, and that's why she's so important. and that's why Sutek thought she was important. Just, yeah, I don't know, it just felt a little bit confusing, and just really disappointing. And I do feel like, again, when it comes to the finale, like both parts, it does feel like there was like a whole chunk of plot that was missing. Like, maybe instead of having Rogue as the episode beforehand, or perhaps, in the last 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of Rogue, you actually set up something similar to Utopia or Turn Left, where you set up something like in terms of a mystery that leads into the Legend of Ruby Sunday, for example. Because it just feels like, why is the Doctor suddenly taking interest in Susan Triad? It just feels a little bit weird, and it just feels very rushed. And it's that sort of storytelling which I don't really like about this era. Like, everything feels rushed, and we're not getting things fully explained to us, which, yeah, I just don't really like, to be honest. So there we go. That is my ranking for all of these episodes. But, yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, because honestly, I don't know. Yeah, this season has been an interesting one. I've overall still really enjoyed it. I've loved Ncuti's performance. I love Millie's performance. I've loved some of the other cast members as well. But some of the plots have been a little bit here and there, a bit hit and miss. And hopefully season 2 is a little bit more consecutive with how it lands. But yeah, it has definitely been a bit of a mixed bag for me. Especially when I've been doing rewatches as well. So I will have my full thoughts on season 1 hopefully soon, because I know I haven't done independent episode reviews where I normally would, because I've kind of struggled of how I thought about this season. But now I'm starting to formulate. I'm starting to get my thoughts together, and yeah, you guys will be hearing stuff very soon about my opinions on this, as well as what I would like to see in the next season as well. So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you are new around here, please click that like button and subscribe for more nerdy content, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for all the support. Take care, love you all, and peace.